my channel. So today we're going in for this, you know, very casual, no, I'm totally kidding. This is so dramatic, it's ridiculous. But so yeah, we're going in with this glitter kind of maroon burgundy cut crease, half cut crease today. I really love this look. And it's really not as complicated as it looks. I promise, don't be too scared. So if you're interested in seeing how I got this look, go ahead and stay tuned and keep on watching. Don't mind this, it's my brows are in the baking process. Alright, so first I'm going to start by priming my lids. I'm going to go on my Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in shade Original. I'm just going to use this to kind of lay down a flat base for my shadows. That way everything's tacky. So now we're just going to take some translucent powder on any kind of setting brush. I like to use this angled brush. I think that it works really perfectly for getting inside the creases right there. So this is a Morphe M438, and I'm just going to take a little bit of translucent powder. This is the Laura Mercier translucent powder. And I'm just going to take a little bit on the back of my brush. A little bit. It's like a ton. And just dust it on top of my eyelid to kind of set that primer in place. Alright, perfect. I'm going to go on with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. I really, really love this palette. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, so I'm going to go in first. I'm going to take a Morphe M441 and I'm going to dip into this burnt orange color. I'm just going to use this color as my transition color and kind of get that started. It's really, really important for a look like this to have a good transition color down, just because you are going in with a little bit darker colors, and darker colors tend to be a little more difficult to blend out and they don't blend so seamlessly. So if you have a good transition shade down, then it's going to make it really, really easy for everything to blend beautifully. So we're just going to go in with circular motions on the outer corner and then windshield wiper motions to bring it into the crease and kind of buff that in there. Okay, so now that that's down, I'm going to go in with a Morphe M433. It's just a shorter, denser blending brush. And I'm going to dip right into this red ochre color and kind of use this color to deepen up that crease and kind of give us a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to start in the outer corner and do circular motions. Oh, these are so pigmented. And then I'm just going to softly bring it up into the crease.
I didn't know you were up.
I scared ya.
Have anything. I'll talk to you later. Working tonight?
Yes.
Okay. Make sure you keep it up.
She just messed that whole footage up. We love you, Mom. So then I'm just going to dip into my red ochre color, and I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other eye. So I'm going to start depositing in the outer corner, small circular motions, and then slowly bringing it up into the crease. My eyes are hooded a little bit differently. This one has more skin on this side, so with my blending I really have to like work to try to get them even. I have to take a little more time. This girl needs a little extra love, but you know, it's totally fine. Okay. Perfect. Alright, So now I'm just going to go in, and I'm actually going to dip into the Jaclyn Hill palette for just a couple shades. And I'm going to take a Morphe M518 brush, and I'm just going to dip into this yellow color right here in the corner. I love this color. I think it's beautiful. And I'm just going to put this right along the top of both colors and kind of give it like a nice fade, and nice kind of sunset kind of feel. I love to do this with looks that are have more like maroons or reds or any kind of orange in them, just because I think that it gives it a really pretty like gradient out towards my skin. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to take that and I'm going to put it right along the top seam of both of those colors. Kind of blend and merge everything together. How's that look, guys? Look good? Or do I look crazy? Now I'm going to take a Morphe M573 brush, and I'm going to dip into this kind of, I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that because there's no way. It's more like a shimmery kind of purple. I'm just going to dip in this, and this is really going to be the focus of our look today. We're going to focus this on deep on the outer corner. So this is going to be the main thing that kind of pulls all those colors together and makes them blend really, really beautifully. So I'm just going to dip into that color, and I'm going to start by softly depositing that on the outer corner of my eye. So I'm really, really going to focus it on that outer corner and kind of just press it there, and then slowly start to build it up and do small, tight, circular motions to kind of buff it out. And then softly, when I say softly, I mean softly, hold your brush towards the end of your brush. Hold your brush towards the end of your brush, obviously. Hold your brush toward the end of the stick, and that's going to make it really easy for you to be light-handed and going in with your blending. So you're going to go on the outer corner and softly bring it right over that red ochre color, just in the outer portion of the crease. You don't want to bring the purple all the way in because we're going to cut right there with the concealer later. So then I'm going to dip in to that red ochre, so then I'm going to dip in and I'm going to do the same exact thing to the other eye. Sorry if I sound a little like nasally and congested, you guys. My allergies have been killing me lately. And then I took my dog on a hike yesterday, and the wind was blowing, and she's a Siberian Husky, so her fur is literally everywhere all the time. So that kind of doesn't really help. It kind of activates my allergies a little bit more, but perfect. So now I'm just going to take, now that that's there, I'm just going to take that same Morphe M518 brush that we used for the yellow, and without adding any extra product to it, I'm just going to take it in and I'm just going to buff it right along the top to kind of blend everything together. Now that we added that purple on top, kind of merge it in with that yellow. Make everything real seamless, girl. Alright. So now we're going to take a break from shadows for a quick second, and we're going to actually go in and we're going to start cutting out our crease. So you can really use any flat brush for this. Let's see. Which brush do I want to use today? So I'm actually going to go in. This is my Morphe M432. This is one of my, it's just a flat brush. It's one of my favorite brushes to use for cutting out a crease. But when I don't have this one, or if it's dirty, I actually like to go in with this flat synthetic brush. It's a little bit more rounded. This is from the Urban Decay Naked 2 collection, because I really like to get it and it naturally follows the curvature of my eye because it is a little bit more round. So either one of these two brushes are my favorite brushes to use for cutting out a crease, but today we're going to go in with this one. So I'm just going to take some concealer. This is my Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer in shade Light Warm. And I am just going to put a little bit of this concealer on the tip of my brush. You don't want to put too much because then you're going to have too much product on your lid and it's going to smudge everything and then it's just going to become a huge mess. So just make sure you always go in light-handedly. Light-handedly? Is that a word? I don't know. So I'm just going to follow the natural creasing in my eye, so right there in my socket. So I'm going to start off lower and then slowly work my way up and build it to where I want it, because you don't want to start off too high and then you lose almost all your shadow work that you just worked so hard on. So make sure you start off low, so right in that crease, and I'm just going to stamp it just like that. And then I'm just going to look and kind of evaluate where everything is, kind of where I want everything to start, and then I'm going to slowly start to bring it up. I'm going to do small short strokes. That way you really have full control over where you're guiding your line to be. If you just go and you place it and you're like, it's very, very easy to go too high and to get too deep, and it can just get real tricky. So you want to start off slow and do small short strokes. Okay, so now that I've got kind of that line and I'm happy with it, I'm just going to take the excess concealer that's on my brush and I'm going to bring it down onto the rest of my lid. So I really want this inner corner right here to be the main focus, and I want it to be the brightest color in my, the brightest part of my look. So I'm really going to focus the concealer on that part, and then I'm just going to slowly tap it and kind of drag it out. This part towards the end doesn't have to be too perfect just because it's going to go in with color anyway. Boom. Perfect. And then we're just going to do the same thing on the other eye. And one tip that I like to do, like to say whenever doing a cut crease, is you never want to come at it from a front angle. You always want to angle your head back and kind of look down on the mirror. That way you really have a full view of the shape of your eye, and you're not trying to kind of like wiggle and like force it in there. You really have a full open view and view of your lid. It kind of opens everything up, because it's really going to open up your eyes and give you a lot more room to work with and make everything a lot easier for you. So now we're just going to go in and we're going to do the exact same thing on the other eye. So now that both of them are done, I'm going to kind of look at them from a straightforward point and kind of see where, if everything's even. Even though my eyes are two different shapes, I still want them to look as even as possible. So I'm going to go in and I'm kind of going to reevaluate, and I'm going to look at everything and see where I need to add. So this one, I would need to add a little bit right there. Perfect. So now once you're happy with your, So now once you're happy with your cut creases, we're going to go in and we're going to set everything. So let's see. So I'm just going to take that brush from the Naked 2 collection, that flat synthetic brush, and I'm going to dip into this tempera, I don't know, this white shade right here in the palette, and I'm going to use this as the main focal point at the front of my lid. So I'm just going to take it and I'm just going to place it and tap it right on the front of my lid. Like I said, I really want this to be the brightest part of my look. So I'm going in with this dark white kind of color. I'm not going to bring that all the way in because we're going in the middle of the lid with a separate color. So I'm really just going to focus it on the front of So I'm really just going to focus this on the front of the lid. So then with that same brush, I'm going to go back in with the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm going to use this gold color right here. So then I'm just going to spray it with some setting spray just so I really get that color payoff that I like. And I'm going to take it and I'm just going to place that right in the center of the lid. Slowly pack that on there. So then I'm going to go back in with that Morphe M573, which is the color or the brush that we used for the purple color in the look. And we're going to dip back into that purple color and really, really deposit that right in the very corner and give that a soft blend into that gold. Perfect. So now you can see there's kind of like a harsh line right there between that gold and the maroon. So I'm going to take that same brush that we had that gold on, and without adding any extra product, whatever is left over, we're just going to kind of stamp between the two to kind of help fade it a little bit. I really like to do this just because it helps that gradients look really natural. Natural. Now we're going to go in with our eyeliner. So I'm just going to go in with any flat angled brush. This one's from Sephora. And I'm going to go in with my Maybelline Eye Studio Gel Liner in Blackest Black. So I'm going to line this up with the bottom of my lash line as if my lash line was to continue up, and that's where I'm going to kind of help guide my line as to where I want my liner to sit. So then I'm just going to take my gel liner and I'm just going to connect it down. Now I'm just going to take an eyeliner. I'm just going to take a makeup wipe and I'm going to place it around any flat edge, and I'm going to reuse this, kind of fold it over that edge, and I'm really going to use it to sharpen everything up. Oh, look at that. Whew. Perf. This is a trick I kind of started doing a little while ago just because I've never been good at eyeliner. I probably never will be, honestly, and the whole tape thing, that never really worked for me. So I started doing this because I always, you know, wanted that like cut you, steal your man, but not really, because I'm my own man, I don't really need to steal yours kind of eyeliner. But I could never do it because I'm not that good at eyeliner. So I started doing this, and it's like I have a gift now. Alright, so now I'm just going to coat my lashes. This is my Voluminous Lash Paradise. I don't exactly know who it's from. I think it's Maybelline. Is it Maybelline? I don't know. It's like coming off. L'Oreal. It's L'Oreal. Okay, anyway. So before we go in and apply our false lashes, we're actually going to go in and we're going to add our glitter liner. So I really, you can totally leave the look just like this, throw on some lashes and finish the rest of your face and be totally fine. Me, I'm a little extra, and I have realized that I have an addiction to glitter, and it's okay. It's fine. So I like to add this glitter liner just to give it a little pop in there, a little something extra. And yeah, so this is the Urban Decay Heavy Metal glitter liners. This is in Midnight Cowboy. I'm just going to go in and I'm going to follow where we already cut out our crease and just draw right along that line. And you don't want to bring the glitter liner all the way back to the end. You kind of want to stop it right where it fades into that burgundy and just kind of swoop it out and kind of let it fade in itself. You really want the main focus to be right in the front, so you really want to go in a couple times and just focus that glitter in the front. Oh, I am obsessed with this. I have to be careful because I will literally just keep adding glitter and glitter and glitter and glitter, and then before I know it, my whole eye is a mess. Can you even see it in the water? I love it. I love it. Puff. Now we're gonna go in and we're gonna apply our lashes. Where are my lashes? So I just applied some false lashes. These are the 105s by Ardell. They're my favorite lashes. So yeah, we just applied that. So now we can move on to the rest of the face. So I'm already primed and everything like that. I prime right before I start everything so it has enough time to set in and everything like that. I'm using the Hangover RX by Too Faced. I really, really like that primer. It's a hydrating primer and I have normal to dry skin, so I really, really enjoy that primer. So now I can just go straight in. I'll be going in with my NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation. This foundation has been my tried and true here recently. In New Mexico, the weather fluctuates kind of all over the place, so I have normal to dry skin, like I literally just said. I like a foundation that's got a little more luminosity and to kind of help moisturize my skin throughout the day. It's not going to get too matte or anything like that. So this one is really, really good. So I'm just going to take about 3 pumps on the back of my hand. And I am going to go in with my Morphe M439 blending brush. And I'm just going to go dip a little bit into that. And I'm just going to start buffing that into my face. It's like a random little dog in my front yard that always comes around and he makes my dogs go crazy. He just literally just like wants to run around in our grass, and not today, sweetie. Okay, so now that my foundation is laid down and everything's pretty even, I'm gonna go in with my concealer. I'm going back in with the Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer, the same concealer we used to carve out the cut crease, and we're just gonna place this all over. And I'm going to take a damp beauty sponge. This is from Real Techniques. And I'm just going to go ahead and use this and blend everything out. And then I'm going to take a separate beauty sponge and I'm going to dip into my translucent powder. This is the Laura Mercier. I'm going to dip into that and then I'm just going to softly tap it into the skin. Very light-handed, just enough to get that product on there. I'm not going to be baking because, like I said, the weather in New Mexico has been really dry lately, so I don't want to take a lot of that moisture and everything out of my skin. I kind of want to keep that luminosity, that kind of glow. So I'm just going to put just enough to kind of set everything, but it's not going to take away any of that luminosity and that glow that we love. Do I look super pale? The lighting is changing. Hope not, but if I do, oh well. So now that that's done, we're just gonna go in and we're gonna set everything, kind of let that powder kind of seep back into the skin. So this is my Urban Decay Chill Setting, I almost said all-nighter. My Urban Decay Chill Setting Spray, and we're just gonna spray that over our face. Fan, 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 fan. So now while that dries, we're gonna go in and we're gonna finish out the rest of the under eye. So we're just gonna take any small smudger brush. So this is a Morphe E36. It's just a flat smudger brush. And we're gonna dip right into that burnt orange color and we're gonna take that right along the bottom lash line. Okay, so now we're gonna go back in with the same brush that we just used and we're gonna dip back into that orange, that yellow shade in the Jaclyn Hill palette. And we're going to place that right on the edge of where we put that burnt orange to kind of give it that same sunset vibe kind of feel. Alright, so now I'm going to take the Morphe M432, which is that same flat brush that we used to carve out our crease. And I've cleaned it off. And I'm just going to dip into that red ochre color and I'm just going to smudge that along the bottom lash line. So we're going to get right in there as close as we can and just kind of softly smudge it out. I'm not going to bring it all the way in, but I'm going to bring it most of the way into my inner corner. Smudge that along the lash line. Like that. Perfect. And then I'm going to dip into that purple shade again and I'm going to use the same exact brush and I'm just really going to focus this color on the deepest part of my inner corner of my lash line. And I'm just going to stamp it right there and then do soft smudging motions. Really want this to be focused in the deepest part of my eye. Boom, just like that. We're gonna coat our bottom lashes. So now we are going to go in and we're going to bronze. And I'm going in with my Too Faced Milk Chocolate Soleil bronzer in light medium. This is my favorite bronzer. I love it because it gives me a nice glow, but it's nothing too heavy or anything that's gonna look kind of muddy on my skin. So I'm going in with this flat angled face brush from BS Small and I'm just going to use this to bronze up my temples. And then I'm just going to use the same brush and I'm going to use this to start doing my bronzing, obviously. So I'm just going to start back here on the ball of my cheek, right here where it kind of rounds out. That's where I want to focus and deposit the most of my bronzer. So I'm going to start in small circular motions. And then slowly bring it down. To my favorite part, highlighter. Baby. Okay, so now we're gonna highlight. And I am going in with my Becca Shimmering Skin Perfecting Pressed highlighter. I love this highlighter. I love a lot of Becca's highlighter. This is my favorite. This is Champagne Pop. I also really like Opal. That's one of my other favorites. I just think that they're so beautiful and so pigmented. So I really, really love these highlighters. Look at her. Oh, gorgeous. So I'm going to go in, and this is a Morphe 510 brush, and I'm just going to dip into this, and then I'm actually going to spray it with some setting spray to kind of give me a little more color payoff, because we trying to blonde people today. So I'm gonna let that airbrush. So then I'm just gonna take the brush and I'm just gonna softly tap it at first right onto the cheekbone where I want it. And then I'll start to slowly buff it. Look at that. Oh, sickening. So then I'll just bring a little bit above the brow bone. Mama loves a good highlighter. Alright, I'm really hoping that I got all my highlighting in there, but it just stopped recording. Alright guys, so this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really love doing this look. I think that it's beautiful for any kind of event that you want to go to, or even if you just, want a casual Saturday at the mall. You can wear it for whatever. But I really love doing this look. I think it's gorgeous. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Give me any kind of feedback that you guys see necessary. Let me know what you guys want to see next. And make sure to join me on my next adventure. Mwah. Bye guys.